There's a county in western Kentucky where someone is paying $24 a year in property taxes. Not per month, not per quarter. $24 for the entire year on a 5-bedroom brick house with 2 fireplaces. I read that number and sat with it for a long time, because in most of this country, $24 doesn't cover the fee to park your car downtown for the day. Kentucky doesn't tax your Social Security. First, $31,000 of your pension or retirement income, also untaxed. And then there's the land. Rolling green hills that go on until you run out of things to call them. Log cabins sitting on 10 wooded acres with stone fireplaces. A former church with Gothic windows and hardwood floors for under $100,000. And at the very bottom of this list, a house from 1900 for less than $30,000. I found 10, from $260,000 all the way down to $29,900. I'm Joseph. I'm retired, and every week I pick a different state and dig through listings until I find the ones that make no sense. Kentucky had so many of them, I had to stop myself from adding more. Subscribe to my channel Tiny Bucks Houses so you see them before everyone else does. 2 houses on this list made me stop everything, number 6 and number 10. The kind of listings that show up once and never come back, and somehow they're both under $100,000. The address on this one is Tom Cat Trail, and when you see the drone footage, you understand why nobody bothered giving the road a proper name, because there's nobody out here to argue about it. 10.5 acres of woods, and somewhere in the middle of all those trees, a log cabin with a red metal roof that you'd never find unless someone told you exactly where to look. This isn't a house pretending to be a cabin. This is round logs, real ones, stacked and fitted by hand in 1982 by someone who wanted to build something that belonged in these woods. Step inside and it hits you everywhere at once. Log walls in every room, hardwood floors that glow when the light catches them, massive wood beams running across the ceiling, and in the great room, a stone fireplace with a wood-burning insert that turns this place into the kind of room you don't leave until the fire goes out. The kitchen sits right off the great room. Handcrafted cabinets, natural wood on the bottom, white on top, stainless steel appliances, and a breakfast bar looking out into the main living space. There's a den off the dining area that could be an office, a reading room, or a first-floor bedroom if you need one. Real barn doors, thick, heavy, the kind you slide shut and feel the weight of. A utility room on the main floor with a half bath. Upstairs, 2 bedrooms, and here's where the original owner made a decision that tells you everything about who built this house. The plan was 4 bedrooms. They turned it into 2 because they wanted the space, not the count. Each one is generous. Window seats, large closets, wood beams overhead, and soft blue-gray walls with windows looking out into nothing but canopy. Full bathroom between them. Now, walk outside. A covered front porch that stretches the full length of the cabin. A covered back porch where you sit in a chair and stare into the trees until you forget what day it is. A detached 2-car garage with a workshop inside. Log built, matching the house. And a separate little log outbuilding with an American flag on the front that looks like it could be a guest cabin, a studio, or just a place to disappear for a few hours. Now let me tell you where this is. About 7,000 people in the county seat of Laurel County in southeastern Kentucky. This town sits right on the Wilderness Road, the same trail Daniel Boone cut through the Cumberland Gap over 200 years ago. The Daniel Boone National Forest wraps around the area. Over 700,000 acres of ridgeline, sandstone arches, and trails that go deeper into the woods than most people are willing to walk. Laurel River Lake is a short drive away. 5,600 acres of clear water tucked between the hills. And here's a fact that catches most people off guard. Colonel Harland Sanders developed his original fried chicken recipe right here in London. The Sanders Cafe is still standing. I-75 runs through town, so Lexington is an hour north, and Corbin is 30 minutes south when you need anything. But the people who live on Tomcat Trail aren't thinking about I-75. A log cabin on 10 acres with a stone fireplace, barn doors, handcrafted cabinetry, a workshop, and enough forest around it that the nearest sound is whatever the birds are doing, $260,000. And this is exactly where the pricing starts getting weird, because somehow this next property offers the same acreage, better views in every direction, and a much lower asking price. Navy blue house on a hill, red front door, and when you step out onto the back deck, rolling green ridgelines stacking up against the sky until they fade into a color that isn't quite blue and isn't quite gray. The sunset photos on this listing look like someone painted them. They didn't. That's just what the view looks like from this back porch every single evening. This is a 1965 ranch sitting on 9.5 acres in Perry County, about 15 minutes outside the Hazard City limits. From the road, it looks clean and modern. Dark blue siding, white trim, a covered front porch with steps up to that red door. There's a matching navy blue garage and workshop building off to the side. From the air, you can see the whole picture. The house perched on a green hilltop, with the mountains rolling out behind it in every direction. Inside, it's been updated through and through. The living room has shiplap walls, hardwood floors, a bright green accent door, and the kind of natural light that makes the room feel open even at 1,200 square feet. Light pine panels in several rooms give the house a warm cabin feel without making it dark. The kitchen is all white cabinets, clean lines, and windows looking out onto the land. 3 bedrooms. The primary is on the main floor, and both bathrooms have been redone in modern gray tile with new fixtures. There's a separate laundry room with a full-size washer and dryer. An enclosed sunroom wraps the side of the house, glass windows on 3 sides, and somewhere to sit that's not quite inside and not quite outside. The property is the story here. 9.5 acres of Kentucky hillside with views that people in other states pay resort prices to see for a weekend. And you'd wake up to them every morning. Now let me tell you about this town. About 5,000 people in the heart of eastern Kentucky. They call it the Queen City of the Mountains, and from this back deck, you understand why. The town was named after Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry, the War of 1812 naval commander famous for the line, "Don't give up the ship." Hazard was a coal town. The railroad arrived in 1912 and turned this little settlement on the North Fork of the Kentucky River into the mining center of southeastern Kentucky. Every September they still celebrate that history with the Black Gold Festival. Buckhorn Lake State Resort Park is nearby with hiking, fishing, and camping. The town has a hospital, grocery stores, and everything you need for daily life, all 15 minutes down the hill. Most people spend thousands just to rent views like this for a weekend. This one comes with 9.5 acres, an already updated house, and property taxes of just $486 a year, all for $189,000. I genuinely thought we had already found the strongest deal so far, until the next property made me question the pricing on everything we've seen up to this point. From the air, this property looks like it was placed in the center of a postcard, and the photographer just kept pulling the camera back. Green fields stretching flat to the horizon in every direction, a pond sitting across the road catching the sky, and a brick house with a green metal roof right in the middle of all of it. 2 acres, but when there's nothing around you but open farmland, 2 acres feels like 20. This house was built in 1935. Brick across the front, vinyl on the sides, and a metal roof overhead. There's a covered front porch where you sit and look out at the kind of flat, quiet countryside that makes your shoulders drop the second you pull in. Inside, the floors have been redone in fresh laminate through the main rooms. The living room has a full brick fireplace with a mantel, not decorative, not an insert, a real brick hearth that anchors the whole room. Dark wood trim runs along every door and window. The kitchen has oak cabinets, a dishwasher, a stove, and enough counter space to actually use it. There's a formal dining room off to the side, 2 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, one with a double vanity. Upstairs, there's a floored attic with permanent stairs, not a pull-down ladder, real stairs, which means that space is ready to be used however you want. An enclosed porch off the back with wood paneling gives you one more room that's half inside, half outside. Outside, a 2-car carport with a circular driveway and a workshop building with garage doors. That workshop alone is the kind of space most people would buy a separate property just to have. Now let me tell you where this is. A small community of about 800 people in western Kentucky, sitting right where Graves and McCracken counties meet. This is Jackson Purchase Country, the land Andrew Jackson bought from the Chickasaw Nation in 1818, and it's been farmland ever since. Paducah is 12 miles northeast, a river city sitting at the spot where the Tennessee River meets the Ohio, with restaurants, hospitals, and everything you'd need. But the real draw out here is land between the lakes, 170,000 acres of national recreation area sitting between Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley, less than an hour away. Fishing, camping, hiking, wildlife, and two of the biggest lakes in the state side by side. A 1935 brick house with a fireplace, a workshop, a pond across the road, and farmland in every direction. $155,000. The next house completely changes the pace of this list.